Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Nick and Lili in the morning. Today we're going to be talking about work-life balance. And to start us off, I'm going to hand it off to Lili Dirksen.
What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about work-life balance, like Nick said. For me personally, my job is pretty much my life. It's kind of like I'm not really working a job. I am just kind of doing what I love every day, and it doesn't feel like work. It just feels like my day-to-day, and I kind of just feel, like I'm just living my life.
Yeah, for sure. I don't have a job. I have a career
Yeah.
that I love, and it is my life, I mean, we wake up and it's not, a lot of people have to go to a job every day that they hate, and they clock in and they clock out because that's your job as a man or a woman in today's society. And that's awesome. That's something to be proud of. I get it. There are jobs in the world that some people are really, really good at and gifted at, and they've dedicated their lives to it, but that doesn't necessarily mean they like it.
Absolutely.
We're fortunate enough to where I like my job, and it's something I'm passionate about because as owners, it's more than just clocking in and clocking out, or even trying to create financial freedom in our own personal lives. The career is our personal life. The company is something that I wake up and I think about, something I go to sleep and think about, and it's not a burden, it's a privilege.
Exactly. That's what I always say too, is I don't really have like set hours. I'm pretty much working 24/7, even when I'm not supposed to be working.
So what do you do when we are really not working? What do you do when there's just you as an individual, not our careers?
Well, I like to spend time with my friends and my family. I like to be like social in that way.
Sure.
I love to just read romance novels and spend time with my dog Jasper. Do anything outside when it's warm. I'm not a cold weather girl most of the time.
You live in Colorado.
I know, but
It's like 28 degrees out right now.
I know, and it's freezing. I've been freezing lately.
Dress warmer. Wear some layers.
Yeah, well,
Adapt.
you're a mountain guy. You like to go snowboarding.
Yeah. Honestly, I think you should wear less layers, and then your body will just naturally adapt to the cold.
I've lived here for about 15 years, and I'm pretty sure that it doesn't.
I don't think you're trying hard enough. Maybe not, actually. I don't think I've ever seen you not try really hard at anything.
Yeah, exactly.
You usually succeed.
I put 110% effort into everything I do. For the most part.
You can only put 100% in.
No, 110.
There's no such thing.
There is. What are your hobbies? What do you do when you're not actually like doing the job, the business?
Well, I'm usually exploring a personal interest, which in turn usually benefits the company in some way. But
Of course.
um,
We're always networking.
right, it's just who I am. I'll always work. I'll always be that guy. I like producing, creating. But it is important to have the balance to not get burnt out. And on an active level, I like to go to the gym on a daily basis. Activity-wise, I like to snowboard. I love to be on the lake, fishing, water skiing. I love riding jet skis,
Okay.
dirt biking, hunting, fishing, shooting guns.
Colorado things.
Yeah. But to kind of just refresh and to like take a breather, I honestly just like to take a walk.
All right.
That is my biggest advice to any entrepreneur in the world, is to take a walk in nature and clear your head.
Yeah, I
It
like
helps
to do
me.
that too. Throw a little bit of music on.
Yeah, what kind of music do you like, Lili?
I love country music, but I've been listening to Dean Lewis a lot lately. I'm not sure what kind of music that is.
I've never even heard of Dean Lewis. Have you heard of
That's
George Strait?
insane. Yeah, of course I've heard of George Strait.
Well, I'm just making sure. Maybe you live under a rock.
Wow.
I know
you're
you.
really stabbing at me today.
I'm just trying to get you fired up.
It's gonna work.
Yeah, I like George Strait a lot.
That's
Parker McCollum, Morgan Wallen.
Kane Brown.
No, that is so not. That's not even in the top 100.
It's new country. I like new country. Some of it.
No. Do you like Jason Aldean?
Yes.
Okay. He's in the top 10.
Chris Stapleton. Can't forget him. Tennessee Whiskey is my all-time favorite song.
He's in the top 10 as well,
Okay, good.
you know. But then we have Morgan Wallen, Parker McCollum, George Strait.
How do you think that you balance work life and relationships?
Well, a lot of my relationships actually play into my work life, so I'm privileged in that way.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, that's what my job is in work, actually, is to have relationships, to network, um, to create relationships with my trades, my family, the people around me, and it usually benefits my work life.
So, how about in the future when you have your future wife? How are you going to balance your
Knew that
future
was coming.
wife
Knew that
and
was
work?
coming. Well, I've done a lot of reflection on that over the last couple of years, just in preparation. I don't know. I mean, hopefully she'll be a little invested in what I do and want to contribute and help me. I pray for that every day. But I know for a fact that when you're with the right person, you usually find a way to make some pretty dedicated time just for that person. And you can't not do that because it's so overwhelming that you just kind of have to do it. You do it without thinking about it. And unless, of course, you're like trying to take care of that person, then it's pretty much all about work. But yeah, I'm not too worried about that. I'll make a lot of time for her. I'm kind of that kind of person. When I'm in a relationship, it's pretty much all about them.
Well, that's great. And to all of you guys who are watching, Nick is single and he does
That
not have a wife yet.
that was
So
not.
feel free.
Anyway, Lily, how do you balance your relationship life with work?
Well, my relationship life is all involved in my work too.
Mm.
And like my personal relationship, my my person is very involved in everything that I'm doing, and I'm involved in what he's doing. And when I'm balancing other relationships, like my family and stuff, we just take that time to really like separate what I'm doing in the business to just spending time and being present. I think it's really important to just be present.
That is hard, isn't it?
Yeah. I also work in the business with my two closest friends, and we just know how to separate things. So, we can still go out and, have some dinner or something and just be normal, but we know how to act when we're at work. So it's really easy, like, balance.
What
But
is
we're all still,
normal?
like, involved.
You act normal?
Lily normal.
I am far from normal. I am like, I don't want to be normal.
As you shouldn't.
Awful.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about, like, a Lily normal,
So when it comes to work-life balance, how would you expect an employee in our organization to approach that?
Well, I want my team to understand, like, we think that, like, their lives are so important, like, their health is important. Like, I don't want the team to be stressed out all the time. Like, I understand at times, like, it will be stressful. But I think, like, them balancing that is very important. I don't want them to be working the full weekend, just maybe answering the phone when it's needed or it's important. And then also taking time apart as a team to, like, remember that like we still have other priorities in our life. I know that a lot of us like to work out together. Health is really important to everybody on our team, and just remembering to slow down. Like work will always be there, and it'll be there on Monday. So I don't expect the team to, lose themselves over the job.
Sure.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think everyone within our business, as an entrepreneur, I always want our employees to be not just clocking in or like their job. I want them to be invested in their job in some way. If you're on my team, I want you to feel invested in the outcome of this company and the growth of this company.
Absolutely.
If you feel like your ceiling is capped, I need to find a way to make sure it's not, because it's not.
Exactly.
There's never going to be a cap on your potential. I will find a way to make sure that you have a future where you feel is going somewhere you want to be, whether that's a different state or a different salary or whatever it may be.
Exactly. We just want to see people grow.
Right. Some purpose. I'm 1000% sure I can contribute to anyone's purpose in life, in a positive way. And I want everyone to feel like that they like their job and they're passionate about what they do. That's what creates investment. Yeah. Is that it's leading to somewhere you want to be, a work life that you like, contributing to and being involved with, and that it's benefiting you in every way you would need a career to do.
Yeah.
And I believe that that also contributes the best way to me because it gives me the best bang for my buck with my employees. Now, with that said, I do think that every employee needs to realize this. Once you obtain that passion and that motivation to build a company like this and to grow and to help others and do your job correctly, it becomes kind of blurry. Like what we talked about earlier. As an owner, this is my baby. It's my life. It's who I am. It's an extension of me, an extension of you.
Yeah.
There does need to be, as hard as it is, some boundaries with that. Like, we do have to create a small space in our lives, no matter how small or how big, for us to be individuals and for us to experience other things. And that can be as a group still, that can be separate, whatever it may be. But I want everybody to feel like they have their own individual lives that they're allowed to live. And a key part in that, especially in a business like this, is just being really good, having someone on the team. Usually that's one of us, an owner, who's really good at delegating and making sure our employees know that they can ask for help and request some time so we can have someone else take their responsibilities over.
Absolutely. Yeah. Super important.
Which is super hard. I want to do everything by myself. I'm sure you feel the same way. I think everyone we hired so far feels that way. Like, it is important to say, hey, I really need this weekend to myself. Is that all right? Can we make something work? And 99.9% of the time we can.
Absolutely. How do you feel about like team bonding with the team, and like what do you do to make sure like we're de-stressing as a group,
As a conglomerate.
Yeah.
So I played high school sports for a couple years, and being a part of a team is one of the most meaningful, passionate things you will ever do. It's kind of like having a family. This is even a step further, which is crazy. Because it's not a season. It's every day of your lives for hopefully ever. So that's a big commitment, isn't it? I definitely think it helps the work-life productivity for us to, as a team, go out and do certain things, whether that's going golfing together, going to dinner together, going on vacations together. It's not about everyone just getting a break. It's about everyone kind of bonding and getting a break together and kind of building on that relationship over and over and over again. So that way, when we come to the table to actually get the job done, we kind of have a better idea of who belongs where and who needs what. And that makes, especially as an owner, your job and my job a lot easier, because delegation becomes 10 times easier when you know how someone is functioning on a personal level.
Absolutely. Yeah. We've got a corporate retreat coming up next month in December for Christmas. And I think it'll be a great opportunity to kind of just bond together, understand each other, learn more about each other,
Sure.
I think it'll benefit the business, but it'll also just benefit us as individuals. So
Absolutely. It'll be some time to like really connect. And, it's not necessarily to say that we won't talk about work. There are a lot of stressors and small details in running a business like this that are genuinely taxing. And it is a job, as much as we may not see it as one. But it's always good to take the break. And even if you still talk about work, it's more of a friendly environment, in an open environment, a creative space. And I believe personally, at least for me, that's where my best ideas come out. And then that's when true creation starts coming to life in the future. It's born in those events and in those environments of a no pressure, creative, free space with people that you enjoy spending time with and are privileged enough to spend time with.
Exactly. I like that you mentioned the creative part of it. I think that like a little corporate like retreat will inspire a lot of creativity out of everybody, and so that'll be very beneficial.
Absolutely.
What's it like working on like day to day? We don't go into an office every day and clock in. So what's the job look like working kind of remote?
Um, So I don't fully work remote. I am on the site quite a bit. And then I'm not quite a bit. I mean, and this is my job as an owner, but it's also kind of your job, period, in this industry is, a lot of it is going to the job site for me and making sure everything looks right, kind of communicating with the project managers, what's going on, how's the project going, how is the client feeling, um, do we have any issues, any hiccups, just general things like that. Being present on the job is important. There are so many small pieces in our industry that have to go right, or if they don't, they need to be attended to in a timely manner, which is fine. That's not a big deal. But
Yeah.
so being on site is a little important on a day to day. But the rest of my life kind of looks like a networking group. I mean, a lot of networking, a lot of talking, and that looks kind of fun from the outside. And it's not. I am very privileged to do so, but it is a burden. Like, you have to go network and meet people. And my advice on giving the best impression is just to be myself. Personally, I am who I am. I am not anyone else. I was put on this earth to be myself as an individual, and I hope that that's good enough for anyone.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, but the day-to-day life kind of looks like checking in on the job sites. You work a lot from your phone, a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, scheduling. You're looking at a lot of communication and networking.
Yeah, I'd say that my work days kind of look somewhat similar to yours, but I do a lot of the, logistical side of things. So I am working from the computer a lot more, and sometimes that's from my couch or my home office. Sometimes it's at a coffee shop.
Sounds cozy.
It's super cozy. Yeah, it's very flexible. My assistant's job is like that too. It's very helpful.
And the burden on you guys is so huge that it is so big that the amount that Lily does and her secretary does is insurmountably important, and I could never do it within a million years. It would take me so long.
Yeah, it's very I'm very blessed for what I'm doing though, because I can do that from a different city if I want. I could do it on the beach.
Sure,
Like
totally.
I have like endless opportunities, but I still like to get out there and see the clients too, and see the projects, and making sure that I'm still involved.
Sure, totally. But it's crazy that some of the most important parts of this business or running a business truly can be done remote.
Yeah.
In this day and age, and people think that that's cushy in a way. And sure, it's a great privilege, but
Yeah.
the amount of responsibility that you hold is massive. It's huge, and it's so important, and we would crash so fast without it that it makes sense that you get to pick an environment that you're comfortable in to work from.
So to conclude, work-life balance is really important to us, and it's important that our team has work-life balance as well.
I'm glad we had this talk today. I think that it's really important that we can spread that message the best we can, because it's how we found success. That's going to conclude today's podcast. Make sure to check us out at md.customhomes on Instagram. Have a wonderful day.